Hakeem was seen by many as the best defensive player in the history of the league. He holds the NBA record for the most total career blocks, but he wasn't just great in defense. His offensive game is equally impressive. His dream shake is one of the most well-known signature moves ever that helped him grab 2 league MVPs. He was the 90s modern big man, but is he the greatest defensive player ever? Hakeem Olajuwon was born on January 21st, 1963 at Lagos, Nigeria, and hailed from a working-class family. His parents, Salim and Abike Olajuwon, operated a cement business in their place. Soccer was his initial passion growing up in Nigeria, as it was the most popular sport in the country. However, his slender frame posed a challenge in competing with faster athletes on the soccer field. He even tried his hand as a goalkeeper, hoping to leverage his long arms and agility, but it didn't quite click for him. But his training days as a goalkeeper laid the foundation for him as a basketball player. It wasn't until he reached the age of 15 while attending the Muslim Teachers Colleges in Lagos that Hakeem's journey in basketball started. He first entered a local tournament and came thrilled to compete for more. During this time, a coach in Nigeria encouraged him to dunk and even pulled out a chair to teach the young Hakeem. He tried to copy the coach's feat by standing on the chair himself, but was then advised against it. Despite facing early struggles in trying to dunk, Hakeem soon realized something different about basketball that made him recognize that this sport was his true calling. Basketball is something that is so unique that immediately I pick up the game and, realize that this is the life for me. All the other sports just became obsolete. Hakeem's college basketball career took him away from his country. He emigrated from Nigeria to join the University of Houston Cougars under the legendary coach Guy V. Lewis. Hakeem wasn't highly known after his high school years as a recruit. His journey to Houston began with an invitation to work out for the coaching staff through a recommendation from a friend of Coach Lewis who had witnessed Hakeem's skills on the court as well as his build. During his freshman year in 1980-81, Hakeem was a red shirt and sought to improve and increase his playing time. That's when he turned to NBA legend Moses Malone. Hakeem learned a lot from Malone, which he greatly utilized in his game. His play style was unlike any in the college scene. The elite competition became normal to him. Hakeem's sophomore and junior years saw him lift the Cougars to 2 consecutive NCAA championship games. He would have had 2 NCAA belts under his name if it weren't for North Carolina State's impressive 1983 season, and Patrick Ewing led Georgetown in '84. Hakeem's stats showed him averaging double-doubles in points and rebounds, and gave a hint of his elite shot-blocking potential with over 5 blocks a game. His performance in 1983 earned him the NCAA Most Outstanding Player Award, as well as the Helms Foundation Player of the Year. Following the 83-84 season, he got more recognition as a consensus first-team All-American. After time deciding on whether to enter the draft or not, he relied on his faith by entering the draft and wishing that the Rockets win the coin flip for the first overall pick. The Rockets ultimately got the first overall pick selection. Following his outstanding college career, Olajuwon wasted no time making his presence felt in the NBA. He declared for the '84 NBA draft and was the consensus first overall pick. The Rockets' decision seemed clear given his great combination of size, athleticism, and defense. The '84 draft is remembered as one of, if not the greatest draft classes in NBA history. It featured several Hall of Famers: Michael Jordan, John Stockton, and Sir Charles Barkley. Hakeem's selection at the top of the draft was widely expected, especially given Houston's excitement about pairing him with Ralph Sampson to form the Twin Towers, an imposing front-court duo that could kill a team on the inside. The Rockets' win-loss record showed their newfound strength and improved from 29-53 in the '83-84 season to an impressive 48-34 in Hakeem's first year in the league. Hakeem's rookie season in the ABA was nothing short of sensational. His stats were what was expected of him before the season start. He averaged 20.6 points, 11.9 rebounds, and 2.68 blocks per game. Although he finished as the runner-up in the Rookie of the Year voting behind Michael Jordan, he was the only rookie to receive any votes. Hakeem's unique blend of skills and his impact as a center was already evident, making him a standout in a league already filled with talent. Being a player drafted before what many considered to be the greatest of all time, no one blamed the Rockets for their choice. He was that good. He was just so singularly unique, and as great as Jordan was on both the ends of the floor, I think from a center position, Hakeem Olajuwon is in the same ilk. As Hakeem's second season in the NBA rolled around, his game continued to shine. Averaging 23.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 3.4 blocks a game in the 85-86 season, he solidified his status as a dominant force in the league. The Rockets improved to a 51-31 record and made a run to the Western Conference Finals, where they faced the defending champion LA Lakers. Their 4-1 victory in the series shocked the sports world and featured Hakeem's standout performances, including a 75-point contribution in victories during Games 3 and 4. However, their journey eventually met its match when they faced the Celtics in the final. The Boston team featured Larry Bird in his prime and is considered to be one of the best teams ever assembled. The Rockets once celebrated the promising presence of Ralph Sampson alongside Hakeem Olajuwon and their great potential as a duo. However, it became increasingly evident that the future of the franchise belonged to Hakeem. Sampson was hampered by injury and wasn't the same as he was before. After Sampson's trade to the Golden State Warriors during the 87-88 season, Hakeem became the sole center of their team's shakeup. He found success as the focal point of the offense and of the defense as well. He showed a versatility that extended beyond just shot blocking. Their transition to Hakeem being the new star was solidified during the 88-89 season when their new coach Don Chaney arrived. Hakeem steered the team to a regular season record of 45-37. He also finished the season as the lead leader in rebounds, getting more than anybody, even the round-mound rebound Sir Charles Barkley. Notably, he joined an elite group of NBA players that included Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bob McAdoo, and Bob Lanier as the only players in history to average 20-plus points, 13-plus rebounds, and 3 or more blocks in a single season. This became a consistent pattern for him, maintained over the next 3 or 4 seasons. In a game against the Bucks in 1990, he recorded a quadruple-double with 18 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, and 11 blocks. Later that year, he had a game with 29 points, 18 rebounds, 11 blocks, and almost became the only player to have 2 quadruple-doubles in their career, but was just 1 assist from making history. Hakeem's dominance continued to the playoffs, where he posted an outstanding 37.5 points per game and 16.8 rebounds. He even set a record for the most points in a 4-game playoff series with 150 points. Despite his outstanding performance, the Rockets were eliminated in the first round by the Seattle Supersonics that marked a frustrating conclusion to an otherwise stellar season. He was having the best productions in his career so far, but the team built around him was just not meant for greater success. He wanted a trade from the management, but was met with resistance from the team. The team was pressured to get better, and it was all the headlines during that period. I'm not coming back for him. They made changes in the coaching staff in the middle of the 91-92 season, replacing Don Chaney with Ruby Tomjanovich. It signaled the team's eagerness to make Hakeem happy and eventually bring a title to Houston. The shift in leadership resulted in a franchise record 55 wins in the 92-93 season, marking the beginning of a new era for the Rockets. Hakeem reached his defensive peak during the 94 and 95 seasons that coincided with back-to-back championship wins. His ability to block shots was truly exceptional, evident in his 4.59 blocks per game average in the past season. Thanks to his great numbers in the previous years, the opposing teams changed their way their offense worked when matched up against Hakeem. His imposing inside presence earned him NBA Defensive Player of the Year award twice in his storied career. Guided by coach Rudy Tomjanovich, the Rockets transformed into an unstoppable force in the season. Hakeem outperformed notable centers like Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaq Dikembe Mutombo, along with other renowned defensive stalwarts like Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone. The peak of Hakeem Olajuwon's defense shone brightest during the 94 playoffs, when he played as a one-man team to lead the Rockets to an unforgettable national championship. His outstanding performance in the NBA Finals against Patrick Ewing's New York Knicks proved to be a game-changer. Hakeem's tenacity and blocking shots was a work of art. He tallied 25 blocks in the entire series. This year is considered to be the greatest individual season of any player in history. He became the first and only player in NBA history to secure the regular season MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Final MVP awards in the same single season. The following season witnessed the Rockets adding more firepower to their roster with the addition of Clyde the Glide Drexler. He was Hakeem's former teammate from University of Houston's Pi Slamma Jamma era. Drexler was acquired via mid-season trade from the Trailblazers. Hakeem continued to shine, averaging 27.8 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 3.4 blocks per game during the regular season. The Rockets cruised their way through a challenging postseason where they faced the Jazz, Suns, Spurs, and the upcoming Shaquille O'Neal. But there was simply no stopping Hakeem. They entered the season as back-to-back champions, while Hakeem grabbed yet another Finals MVP. Despite remaining a competitive team in the Western Conference, the Houston Rockets were unable to make it to the Finals once more as they entered the post-championship era. Even with the addition of Charles Barkley for the 96-97 season, where they started their campaign with a 21-2 record, the Rockets just couldn't recapture their previous championship glory. Although Hakeem Olajuwon maintained his impressive scoring production during the following seasons, his scoring dipped to 16.4 points per game in the 97-98 years, and the team suffered a first-round exit in 5 years to the Utah Jazz in '98. It proved to mark the end of Clyde Drexler's journey with the Rockets. In the 98-99 season, they got veteran all-star Scottie Pippen and posted a 31-19 record in the lockout-shortened regular season. Olajuwon's scoring output increased to 18.9 points per game, and he secured his 12th and final All-NBA team selection. They eventually experienced another first-round playoff loss, and this time it was to the hands of the rising LA Lakers. In 2001, Olajuwon was traded to the Toronto Raptors for draft picks. Then he retired in 2002, ending his career as the only player ever to record more than 200 blocks and 200 steals in a single season. Many centers excelled in the inside, but were a liability once outside the paint. Hakeem, though, he was different. He ranked among the top 10 all-time in steals and has 5 NBA All-Defensive First-Team selections. In 2022, the NBA named the Defensive Player of the Year award after him, now known as the Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy. To this day, his dream shake is still one of the most unstoppable moves ever invented. Shaq put it simply, Hakeem's got 5 moves, then 4 counter moves, that gives him 20 moves.